What's up, everybody? Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 30. It's a new month. It's November 1st here in 2023. Pick number 30 of my favorite solo albums of all time. So, just to kind of set the criteria once again, now that we're on a new month, this has to be an album by a musician who was previously with a fairly notable band and either just went into the solo album, stayed in the band, or perhaps did a series of solo albums but still stayed in the band, or left the band to go start a solo career, maybe start a solo band or what have you. So that's the criteria I'm using. Today's pick for number 30 is the, I guess, technically second solo album from this particular artist, released June 18th, 1973, recorded at the record plant in Los Angeles, California, as well as Caribou Ranch in Colorado, in Nederland, Colorado. Produced by Bill Schmick and Joe Walsh himself for ABC Dunhill Records. I'm talking about The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get from Joe Walsh. I knew I had to have Joe Walsh on this list. Now it's just a matter of, okay, because there's three, there's more than three, but there's a bunch of them that I like a lot. Of course, Joe Walsh came from the James Gang, right? Left the James Gang to go solo, actually to put together the kind of solo band called Barnstorm. And technically now, like if you go to their first Barnstorm album, it's kind of now listed as a Joe Walsh solo album instead of like a band thing. This was very similar, went out under the Joe Walsh name, and then he just, forever used the Joe Walsh name going forward. And he went and joined the Eagles during this time period, shortly thereafter, excuse me, on the Hotel California album, but it continued to do solo records all throughout the rest of his career, still doing them to this day. He hasn't released one in a number of years, but I'm sure we'll get at least one more from Joe, at least, we hope, right? So on this particular album, along with Joe, who, of course, plays guitars, keyboards, lead and backing vocals. We got Kenny Passarelli on bass guitar, lead and backing vocals. Joe Vitale, drums, percussion, keyboards, flute, lead and backing vocals. And Rocky Grace on keyboards and backing vocals, with a couple folks showed up for the session to help out on backing vocals: Clyde King, Vanetta Fields, and Joe Lala on percussion. So, what's on this album, you might ask? Well, this is a really interesting album because I think one of the great things about The Smoker You Drink, love the title, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get, tossed that around a few times, come up with different combinations, is there are so many different flavors on this album. And I ultimately went with this one over one or two others because I think that this really works as a varied work. Full of all sorts of good things. He surprises you at every turn, and I think the band was really gelling here, and you get kind of a lot of what makes Joe tick, right? So you got the big rockin' Rocky Mountain Way, right? It's just, this was the big hit on the album. This is a forever beloved song in the Joe Walsh catalog, but kind of weird how it starts off the album that way and it goes all sorts of different directions from there. You think, well, it's going to be a big rockin' album from Joe, and it really isn't. It does rockin' spots, but there's all sorts of great things going on here. You got the lovely bookends, right, written by Joe Vitale. You got the Snarling Wolf, Midnight Moody's, which is, for all intents and purposes, basically kind of like a fusion track, right? Very cool, laid back, kind of fusion-y, jazzy, rock type of thing. Very, very cool. Then, of course, you got Happy Ways, the really great vocal melodies on a lot of these songs. And then, Joe comes in with some roaring guitar from time to time, but it's not a big guitar rock album. Then over on side B, I think we have one of the most underrated songs of the 70s in Meadows. I mean, Meadows is just gorgeous. It's a good rocker. It doesn't rock too much, but it's just a great textured, layered, colorful pop rock song with just some amazing melodies, tasty guitars. I mean, I just love the chorus on this song. I think Meadows, to me, is the best song on the album. So good. Then you got the lovely Dreams, which follows. Days Gone By, another really good track. And then, of course, in Days Gone By, rocks a bit. Nice guitar solo from Joe. He's got some really good lead guitar work and some slide guitar work throughout this whole album. And then it finishes out, once again, on a kind of a tender note with Daydream Prayer. All right, so really good album. Really, really good album. And again, I think one of the great things about Joe Walsh is that on his solo albums, he really showed you all the facets, all the things that he liked to do. So there's, on this album, you got rock, you got pop, you got a little bit of country rock, you got some kind of like Caribbean type flavors, a little bit of everything on here, a little bit of everything. So here, this one made it to number 6 on the U.S. Billboard album charts in 1973. All right. Singles, Rocky Mountain Way made it to number 23, and Meadows made it to number 89. I think Meadows is the way better song. Right? I mean, I like Rocky Mountain Way. Kind of simple for what it is, but Meadows is the more complex song, and I think the more fulfilling song for me anyway. It's like I would have loved to have seen Meadows really, really pushed as a single. Certifications, this went gold here in the States. 500,000 units sold, and in the UK, 100,000 units sold. Silver, or actually, sorry, silver is I think 60,000 copies sold. It's not showing the exact number, but yeah, this made it to silver in the UK. So yeah, and a great album cover too. Right, got lots of glare here this morning, but yeah. So let us know what you think of Joe Walsh's "The Smoker You Drink, the Player You Get." And list your pick for today, your solo album for today, as we march our way all the way through to number 1 at the end of the month. So till then, visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. Thank you in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you just in a little bit. We got a lot of reviews coming up today. So they've already been posted on the channel, so you can see. Hopefully you've had a chance to listen to a lot of this stuff. Join me for my commentary on these albums, and let us know what you think of those. So please don't miss out on What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility Day. Each and every Wednesday, new albums, new stuff to check out. Also got coming up tonight, we've got Mr. Phil Aston is coming back for Songs That Define a Guitarist. Another episode of that. We've got 10 guitar players, some really great guitar players, and we're going to talk about, to us, what songs we feel really defines what that guitar player is all about. It's been a very popular show so far. We've been doing like once a month or so. So that's coming up at you tonight. And then, of course, lots of other stuff happening throughout the rest of the week. We've got Martin Popoff at the Funhouse on Friday morning. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the brand new Rolling Stones album, Hackney Diamonds, right? So we both have reviewed it. I've reviewed it here. Martin's reviewed it on the Contrarians. We're going to kind of come together and talk a little bit more about it together. And tackle some comments on both review videos that we've had from viewers, their comments and feedback and things on the new Rolling Stones album. We're going to kind of pick out some comments and talk about them and respond to them and that sort of thing. So that's coming up on Friday. We've got the UK Connection happening on Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday is Ranking the Albums. I'm going to be joined by Mr. George Lemie and Mr. Eric Porter on Sunday. We will be ranking the short but very cool catalog of Liquid Tension Experiment for all you Dream Theater fans. Liquid Tension Experiment is a little side project put together by Mike Portnoy, John Petrucci, Jordan Rudess, and Tony Levin. They've got 3 albums. We're going to rank them. That's coming up on Sunday. So until then, take care, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. See you tomorrow for pick number 29. Take care. Bye-bye.